So we're doing this again. We're doing it again. I had no problem with it. You know me. I'm with the smoke. I'm with that action. Whatever. I'll be on the comments and I'll be ignoring what I need to and answering what I want to. So but I just want to. It's funny because I don't think the energy has changed from this. It's still going to be a lot of energy coming from this one. So let's get the show started. Roll that intro. Welcome to Netflix Review with your host, B Shaq, aka Damn. And today I'm discussing Dear White People Volume 2. Available for streaming now on Netflix. If you're new to the series, my first suggestion is starting with Season 1 or Volume 1. You can start with Volume 2, Season 2, because it does a lot of rehashing through the seasons, through the second season, and just going over the characters in the previous storylines, so you can keep aware and keep knowledgeable. But I do feel like this season makes more sense if you do rewatch Season 1 or watch it for the first time before you start Season 2. For those who haven't watched the show, I'll give a quick synopsis about what the show is about. It's essentially a story about this Ivy League school. I know the title often gives off this perception that the story is about the radio show, but it's more or less about the Ivy League schools' history of racial strife and this racism that's built in the underbelly of the school's history, as well as the present and future of how these racial energies are going around in the school. Now, like I said, even though the central character is Sam, I think what makes the show so great and brilliant to me is the fact that every character gets a chance to shine. Like I said, most of the story is surrounding Sam in the radio show and her going to school. But it also gives shine to Reggie, Coco, Joel, Lionel, Troy, all these, even Gabe, which also debunks this idea that it's about black. It's about a lot of the characters in this. You get to see so many dynamics of each character, and I think that's what makes it work so well to me, that this idea that every character is able to show the things that fuel them, the things that scare them, the things that drive them to want to succeed more. And I love that about the show because it also shows that, especially with the black characters, there's this thing that I feel like sometimes is misrepresented, that we are all one monolithic group of people that have one central thought process, and we all think alike, and we all move the same, and we all have these things that are all the same. And I think that that's a lie that has been heavily misrepresented. And I love how the show shows each person having these different personality traits and these different thoughts, and even though they may have one goal of being together and making things work, they all have different pathways that they think you should take to get there. And I love that about the show. I love watching them debate and argue, and even when it gets too kind of hot and it turns into a roasting session, I love it. It works. And I think this season, to me, I feel like I have to keep qualifying to me, I'm sorry, but to me it works because this season was able to expound on what last season was. Last season, like with most shows, is an origin story, so you have to do a lot of layer foundation building, while second seasons are able to come and just lay top bricks on top of that to build this beautiful house, because the foundation's already been laid. So you already know Sam to a certain extent, so you don't have to do so much backstory on her. Now you can get to see her interactions with her family because you know her as a character. You get to hear about Reggie's father. You get to hear Troy's growth as a person now after the whole him breaking the glass the first season. And it's so much growth in the characters. They're able to give so much more dynamic stories that are built directly for each individual character, and I think that's great. It works so well watching because you become enthralled with each character's storyline and how it all works together in like this kind of crash type version of things where they all come together to make this complete puzzle. And I think, like I said, this season was brilliant to me. I think it was better than the first season, only because, again, first season was the origin story. You had so much to do. This season was like, we can just work with already this foundation we have. We can show these characters. I think they had like one episode was introduces these because for the most part you get to see what all the black characters are doing inside of AP. Where this season you get to see that there are actually other black students that aren't in AP and how they process and how they look at AP, and that's great too because again it shows this narrative that we're not all one monolithic group of people. We don't have all one thinking. I can think that my area where I'm at is great and it's great for me, and then somebody else will look at that area and say that's not for me. I can't deal with that, and we'll may even have the same upbringing. We may have the same type of economic background, economic values, but somehow the way we look at things aren't the same. And that I think that the story portrays that really well with that one storyline. I do like this secret cult. I like the idea of Sam getting the Sam turning to trolls and the trolls coming after her. Look, I will say this about the comments that Sam was getting on her Twitter. I don't know if that was a Twitter or what that was, but it looked like Twitter. I've seen those comments. In fact, I think that maybe Dear White People just surfed the internet and looked at how many bad comments they had from people who never watched the show and just said, let's just go ahead and put those into the show because it looked literally like the stuff I was reading on my comment rolls or other people's comment rolls or on IMDb, because it was just a whole bunch of misinformation by people who didn't watch the show, just read the title and said, let me get to start the writing about how bad this show is and pretentious and how racist it is. And I'm like, yeah, okay, guy. We know you didn't watch it. We get it. You won. Okay. But, again, the show is brilliant. I even like the last scene. I forgot. One of the dopest things about it is they incorporating the characters that were in the movie back into the show. Tessa Thompson's back this season. My guy from Everybody Hates Chris is back. It's dope to watch them. And that last scene with Tessa Thompson and Sam, which is like Sam meeting Sam, was like, it was powerful. It was like this moment when the hero meets the anti-hero, and the anti-hero tells them about themselves, and they don't know how to process it yet. And it was a great moment. I love that part the most because it was just so great to watch Sam be stuck. And because this moment of realization of we're the same, even though I didn't think we're the same, we are the same, and it scared her to a point. Well, you got to see it. If you haven't seen it, I love that scene. That was like one of my favorite scenes. Even like the monologue of it all was dope to me. How Tessa was talking to her. I forget the name of her character. She's always gonna be Tessa Thompson to me. Also like can we talk about? I feel like a lot of shows have great background shows that are funny. Like even with Insecure, the show they had last season that was like a black version of Downton Abbey was hilarious. I don't know the name of the show. They had like the bootleg Love and Hip Hop. They had the bootleg Empire, the bootleg Ayana Fix Your Life, or whatever that is. And it was funny watching them watch it because you know what it's a spoof of, but it's still funny how like we can laugh at that because it's us. But when other people that are non-black laugh at you like this, hey man, they ain't that funny. But no, I heavily suggest it. I know. I got the comments last year. I know. Most of y'all gonna just hate and not watch it at all. You're gonna say you canceled your Netflix because they've renewed it for a second season. Okay, I know. But if you were a fan of season 1, I swear you will love season 2. It's great. It's funny. It's clever. All those words that people use when a show is really great, it's that. So if you have seen it, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you haven't seen it, and you just hate the show, you want to leave a comment about how wrong I am, feel free. I don't know if I'll respond, but whatever. I responded to a few people last. If you keep it like peaceful and don't use like slurs or sound like you're trying to uppity me or talk down to me, I may respond. We may be able to have an intelligent conversation about it, but I doubt it. But anyway, please feel free to comment down below. If you're new here, I do these on occasion. Feel free to subscribe, share, let's just vibe out, have a good conversation about it. If you want to talk to me, you can always follow me on any of my social media accounts. That's Damn Look at Him across the board. It's Damn Look at Him Twitter, Damn Look at Him Snapchat, Damn Look at Him IG, and Facebook is Damn Look at Him TV. Twitch is also Damn Look at Him. Follow me there as well. As always, be kind to one another and be easy. Wait, sorry. Peace. Happy Netflixing. I'll tell you this. I don't do a lot of thirst follows on Twitter. Let me qualify that. I don't do a lot of thirst follows on Twitter. On IG, I do a lot of thirst follows. But on Twitter, I don't do a lot of thirst follows. I try to like keep my like intellectual people I feel like I want to hear their thoughts on things. So, but I will say this: the young woman who plays Coco liked one of my comments about the show, the first season, one of my tweets. I instantly followed her because Coco bad. She bad. Joelle, she bad too. She bad too. Sam, she bad too. I would say Coco my 1A, Joelle my 1B, and then Sam 2. But yeah, I'd holler.